found one finalist in the Taiwanese Pekao. Looking for the second one. Will it be Sophia? Will it be Somed? As we kick off this one, the first point going Sophia's way under the lights. They played earlier today, the quarterfinal in the day, different conditions. Lots to adapt and adjust. Some changes, of course, will be visible in their style. Sophia, Somed both had a wonderful start in that quarterfinal. What a cross court that one. Solid from Sophia, and what a start now. A massive lead already. Did that clip the sideline for Somed? Yes, it did. She gets the break. Called in by Byron. You can take a look once again on that one. This is the shot. And the nice spin on it. Bringing it back on court. The curl, that side spin. Oh, wonderful. What an angle. And she's enjoying it. Somed Dalabona having a great time on championship court. That's what you want to see. That's the spirit. That's the joy that this sport brings to all these athletes. This time it's out. Gets the break, Sophia.
Side out.
750 players from across the globe competing at the PWR DUPR India Masters. And of course, a massive prize pool of $50,000. 700 points at stake, valid across 52 weeks. So much to fight for.
Point.
Following the successful launch of the PWR World Tour in July at Dubai, this tournament, now in the capital city of New Delhi, marks the first fully owned and operated event by PWR. The Dubai launch attended by PWR's anchor investor, the Times Group, international pickleball officials and some of the world's best pickleball players, setting the stage beautifully for PWR's expansion across the globe. And this again sets the stage beautifully for me to welcome my co-commentator Chinmay.
Hurrah! Why is it there, bro? I think it's an exact amount of sleep and stress and also excitement. I think both these girls are dying to go back to their hotels early, purely because they will both have morning games. So their first thing was, let's just do this quickly because you want to start playing fast.
Indeed, there's so much
All guys left us again.
action on day 2. So you really have your eyes on that as well. I mean, wrap up day 1 at the earliest. There's so many categories here. The singles, the doubles, the mixed. You just want to win it all. I mean, you have 4 days. Grab as much gold as you can.
This is very predominant in racket sports where you have multiple games. You possibly won't see this in cricket, football, because very different sports attack very different parts of your muscles and body. Recovery not possible, but it still baffles me, man, that tennis players, pickleball players, racket sport players playing 2 to 3 games back to back to back and then still being okay to play the next day. I mean, just looking at them makes me want to take a nap from time to time. But then again, that's just silly old silver-haired Chino for you.
4-3. Point. Five, 3. Point. 6-3.
Well, lots happening there on the court as both these girls desperate to wrap it up and leave as soon as they can. 6-3 deficit of 3. Not much at all. Will need a solid performance from one of these girls to truly impose themselves if they want to leave here early and get a good night's rest before tomorrow's madness begins. And speaking of madness, we're going to be here early as well. Sarthak, I'm sure got a good night's sleep yesterday. I was struggling a little bit, so I need to get home today, which is why I'm hoping that these games, now finally, it's the first time I'm saying it all day, wrap it up, ladies, and let the guys come in. They need to wrap it up and then get some rest for them and for Scuba Chinu.
I can feel you. I can feel you, Chinmay.
Side out.
But yes, the best has been saved for the last because we have two scintillating semi-finals coming up in the men's category. Those genuinely will just raise the bar, if not in that quarterfinal. If it was not already a notch above from the rest in that Arman Bhatia Aditya Ruhela quarterfinal, I can promise you the semi-final will show us another level.
Yeah, but should I possibly jinx it and say sometimes when there is two fearsome opponents, sometimes because of the pressure it just goes horribly lopsided or one-sided, and we wouldn't want that. I'm just saying I want to get back to the hotel early, but I'm only kidding. I'm here for the action. We're here for what we love, and that is pickleball.
Totally. The adrenaline, that's a tough one, a tongue twister for me, is getting all over us, and it's what keeps us going, isn't it?
I have that same problem when you ask me to spell croissant. For the life of me, at CR I stop. That's my adrenaline, but in spellings.
Side out.
You can tell from Sophia and Somer's body language. Of course, it's been a tiring day for them in the conditions that we saw earlier. They were tougher. A little more cooler now, but obviously with how much energy has been spent all day, they might find this a little more hard, I believe.
Absolutely spot on, man. You can tell with how comfortable they were giving the interviews in the day. They had lots to say, and right now you could tell that as a host, these are things you need to read and leave them alone so they can get to the game. And what we don't realize is me and it's too late. Me and Sarthak have to come here and just use the gift of our gab. These girls have to play an entire day after playing 4 to 5 games in one day. Takes a lot out of you.
And playing seriously quality pickleball. These are world standard, global standard measurements. I mean, they're playing at such high levels. To come in, day out, with weeks leading into this, the hard training that they've done. Like Purav Raja earlier mentioned, these are players, most of them who play on the PPA tour, play across the globe, play 40 weeks a year. So many tournaments, and you know, when you're traveling across different time zones, the jet lag, so many factors.
It was lovely to see in the men and the women. It's very evident that some choose the fashion route and some choose the comfort route. And I think at the end of the day, we've seen that in more sports ever. You have footballers who wear hair product that can probably cut diamond, and then the other ones who just pick up literally the first jersey they find, which is their team's, and then go and play. And clearly on the pitch as well, it's very evident every time you watch a game. But as long as it's working for you, as long as you're winning games, I don't think anyone really cares.
8-7.
Indeed, speaking of the hair product, I'm sure are you a Cristiano Ronaldo fan? What hair product does he use? I mean, the hair doesn't move.
Beeswax, buddy. That stuff can keep countries from going to war. That's how tight it is. It's a rather beautiful thing, but it takes a lot of time to get off.
7-8.
Wow. I'm assuming because Virat Kohli, I mean, he admires Cristiano Ronaldo quite a lot. His hair game is on point as well. Do they use the same product? I'm curious.
Probably not because they're not playing in the rains, right? These guys are playing in torrential rain football. So beeswax is literally immune to all of that. And this is just a couple of hairstylists who I've met have sworn by what these athletes who are footballers do. Virat Kohli, I don't think so much, especially when he's batting. You can't have so much sticky hair because well, that helmet will be crusty almost at the end.
For any of the new viewers listening to us right now, they certainly will wonder, they'll question the credibility of these commentators. Well, it's been a long day, about 13 hours, and we are wondering how the hairstyles, the glam quotient, the fashion quotient of pickleball players and connecting it with some of the world's best football and cricket legends. So, not bad. I mean, tell me, whose hairstyle did you like today in the men you saw on center court, Chinmay?
Can I just say Purav? Go in the commentary box. Nice and bald.
Nice answer.
Side
But
out.
certainly there's a lot of fashion statements. Even the two women on center court now, Sophia and Somer, raising the heat.
Absolutely.
Indeed. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's no doubt about it. And pickleball, with the kind of vibe, the atmosphere it creates, it's such a party vibe with the DJ playing those songs, and
Side out.
you really expect the fashion quotient to be really high.
In fact, when we were, you and I were walking on the other courts, we saw a couple of dudes who were dressed to the nines with a red hair and then red outfits to match. So it's good to see that the guys and the girls coming here to play are not just coming to play, but they're here to make a statement. And early statements always last longer. And this is the time to get into pickleball because it's just in its nascent stage in India. And believe me when I say it's blowing up.
Side out.
Ooh, had a look on that one. Will be disappointed. So Sophia there. I mean, such an easy put away on the backhand side. Should have done it in her sleep on an ordinary day. Hence the reaction. But that's the occasion. It's for a spot in the final. The nerves come into play, and it's 9 apiece. Now Somer has the serve.
9-9.
You know, something else I noticed, Sarthak, when I went down this time is, I know I'm going to go back to creepy crawlies, but there are a lot of their bodies have been left on the court. Now, the problem is, look, I'm not going to go into their how they've laid down the lives of the name of pickleball, but the problem is this ball is not the heaviest, thickest, fattest ball, and some of these bugs are really big. I don't know, because right now we saw Sophia look at the ball bounce and then she looked down. I wonder if that has any role to play because these are big points and little insects.
On the out call with the score 10.
That's a big point.
9.
In fact, I mean, given the extreme difference in the
Video
daytime,
review,
there was
please.
not a single insect. So they have played in those conditions, and now a complete twist to that. So yes, it is going to play in. It is going to factor in. And you can see that. We saw the cleanup between the change of sides there, and you want to just, like they said, just keep your eye on the ball, get done with the job because you have a job to do. Even in the morning, these two girls return to compete in, say, less than 14 hours. So Chief Referee Byron, close to that screen. We have a review that's been taken.
I think Byron is just simply muscle memory for him now. In his cool, calm, composed manner, goes there, has a look. Most of the day he's been spot on with his decisions, but look again, it's a game of fine margins, so there will be times where it's an inch or a couple of centimeters here and there, which is why we're blessed to have this technology provided to us by our sponsors, and you'll get a better look at what's happening, and hopefully a couple of those insects as well. I don't know why I'm treating this like a wildlife safari. It's just a bunch of insects, but again, this is how much it terrorizes me. This is a 6'1" guy who's terrorized by by creepy crawlies. Literally, there's one right now, and I'm avoiding it like Neo avoid the bullets in the Matrix.
But also, just take a look at Sophia, how she's enjoying her time out there. I stand corrected.
By the
Somer
way,
there, yes. And
it's coming.
the smile hasn't left her face.
Okay.
You win, you lose, but she's always enjoying herself on court. I think she's amazed that, you know, the anticipation, the anxiety. I mean, those butterflies in her stomach, the insects all around, and the butterflies in her tummy.
We're not going to let the insects go today, are we? I think all the listeners must be with their hands on their head saying, what is up with these two dudes? Why do you guys try saying it in commentary booth for 14 hours and then we'll talk? Ooh, this is the first time we've seen such a super
I don't
close-up.
think that's the right angle.
Haven't seen that all day. I think we've been... so that means it's a very,
Cannot
very
get a
close
right
call.
angle here.
And big man Byron has spoken. Sommer. Nothing somber about that smile. She's all happy chappy, regardless of what the score is.
That is not the shot I'm looking for. That is not the shot. We've got to be much faster than this. This is a lot of time wasting. If we can't find a shot, we'll just have to let the call stand. It was the last shot or the last rally a few minutes ago. Guys, I have to move on. If you can't find it, I'll just have to... Yeah. The call will stand. I was quite confident that it was out. All right.
Lots happening in the
After
center court.
back
We'll
on
get an
video
update for
review,
you
the
as
call
soon
will
as
stand.
possible.
Okay.
But the game moving on right now
Score
with
is now
Sophia
10.
in the lead, but just by 1 point. But it is that one big point that gives
Time
her
in.
the first game.
10, 9. Point, game, 11-9.
All right, then, after that long interval, Sophia will be very happy because she closes the first game 11-9 and will go
Close.
in to the second one with a lot of confidence.
Not too much to separate both of them, but like I said, fine margins make big differences, and this one goes to Sophia. Will Soma come back? We'll find out in the next couple of minutes.
All right, 15 seconds.
Well, this semi-final
Game two,
looks like it might
time
just
in.
get over,
0-0.
or it might not. Both girls raring to go, not much dividing them in the first game. 9-11 is not a big difference, and no love lost, no energy lost. Both of them raring, ready to go. Beautifully played, beautifully played. Sophia couldn't do anything about that last shot. Her balance was completely off. She was running forward, momentum took her there, and gravity can be a cruel mistress when she has to, and we saw that firsthand there.
0-0. Side out.
A lot of these times when you're reaching for a backhand, you completely lose sense of balance, which sort of pushes your body off, and those shots very difficult to land, as we saw there. Soma couldn't really get it. Forehand, on the other hand, looking impeccable. A little too impeccable, maybe. Just hits the surface of the net and squabbles, barely gets into Sophia's half. Oh, little wayward there from Soma, but luckily it was her serve, so she's just been broken. No point given to the opposite side. Just in case you guys decided that on a weekday you want to join us at 10:30 in the night and haven't watched what's been happening all day in this sport of pickleball, you can only score on your serve.
Point.
Like we just saw there, Sophia gets the point,
1-0.
does a little hoppity hop, and she's back at it again. Clearly, I asked each and every athlete today if they can spare a second for a celebratory dance. None of the guys or the girls have done that. I guess they're saving their energy. It is a 4-day tournament, and the weather here in Delhi does change, excuse me, quite drastically from 8 to 9 in the morning, and then through the afternoon, and then suddenly the temperature drops once the sun is down. So it literally feels like you're playing in two different places, and imagine playing 4 games then through all of those conditions.
Side out. 0-2.
Ooh, made her second guess herself. Always good. You know the time is ticking. It's getting a little late. Your mind and your brain are telling you two different things. Your body and your mind rather are telling you two different things. This is a test of your true grit, just to see how fast and sharp you can react when your body wants to rest. So does my body. Sarthak just correctly pointed out. He said, bro, stop projecting onto the athletes. You're the one who needs rest. I'm not going to lie. Chino needs his rest.
Take a breather, my friend. Let that voice rest. And wow, but you know, we love this sport. We both do. And it's just that primarily what keeps us going. We know 2 semifinals have been coming up. We've been speaking for about 14 hours.
Non-stop, big boy.
That's okay.
And we're still doing it with a smile. I'm sure whenever the camera pans at us, without warning or with warning, we're always happy, chappy, smiling, trying to joke around, make you guys happy. And ooh, the ball seems to have gone out of bounds there. Yes, indeed.
And of course, we're drawing inspiration from the athletes, be it Pekka, be it Somer. The smile is something that doesn't leave most of these athletes' faces. They really enjoy themselves on court, and their schedules far tougher.
I was just going to argue that point, and then I instantly kept quiet, sitting in an AC room talking all day, as opposed to playing. And there we see the game is heating up a little bit. but purely based on the gameplay and not the girls. Their temperaments, fantastic, far different from the boys who were far more into the game in terms of celebrations and the ooh yeah, the let's goes. Not too much of that from the girls. Sarthak, who's been your athlete of the day today? If you had to pick one, I know it's tough. A lot of great performances. Who's been your one to stand out?
So like I've said often, I mean, I don't see better athletes at the moment in India for sure than Arman and Aditya. There's no doubt in my head about that. They're just too good when it comes to the athleticism. But I was very impressed by someone like an Amol Ramchandani. Again, at 17, very impressed to see him come up with the goods against someone like a Tom Evans, who's got wealth of experience. But you believe, you back yourself at such a young age. So that just shows the potential. The future, indeed, very bright for Indian talent. Player of the day, I would say Arman Bhatia, particularly because you're trailing in the first one, 5-10. You come back, win that. Then Aditya comes back, wins the second. You still manage to win the third. And these are not just regular games. These are not your average games because they are 3-3, 4-4, 5-5, and these are really long rallies and testing your endurance, patience. The quality is so high. So in terms of a global level, I would definitely say Arman Bhatia today.
Same, buddy, ditto. And I think in the girls, I think Pei for me has been the standout performer today. Fantastic. And I just found out that she absolutely loves rabdi as well, which happens to be my favorite Indian dessert. So brownie points or rabdi points for that to you, Pei. Up in the air, smashes it back. That must have felt good, unless it's gone out, which I think it has. Hit it with all her might. Love a good old tennis style smash over the head. Just wasn't good enough. Sophia does have a very tennis-like approach to this game as opposed to most of the other athletes. Even her backswing, the movements, the way she switches positions and the balance in her body. Very tennis player-like. And, well, you can see Soma, on the other hand, checks her shots a lot more. Good shot by her. Across her opponent, across Sophia, across Soma rather, and just looked fantastic, and even better on the replay. I think everything looks good in slow motion. Good shot there.
That's really the advantage when you come close to the kitchen line. You cut off the time from your opponent. You know, if you're waiting at the baseline, you're allowing your opponent to get back into position. That footwork comes into play. But if you just charge in, this is what you see in tennis too. The best of the best serve and volley, for example. Roger Federer, he'll serve, he'll charge in, close it. Pete Sampras did it all the time. You see that similarity here as well. The only big difference, you can't step into that kitchen area. In tennis, you can go right next to that net. But it'll become too easy in pickleball if you do that.
And then you can't cross it in tennis. But here you can technically cross into the other line from the side, which is just fantastic to see. It hasn't happened today. We have seen some beautiful shots that have come from outside the bounds and then straight into the other side. But we haven't seen someone encroach the territory of their opponent yet. And still you see Mr. Kohli sitting with a smile. He's stuck around the entire day. So literally watching him there gives me no reason to complain. Because if he can do it, why can't we, buddy? Why can't we? I should stop complaining, definitely.
Really solid this from Sophia. Gets the break now. She's trailing by 2 points. Of course, having won the first one.
6-8.
Her message was loud and clear to you, Chinmay. I want to wrap this one up as fast as possible. Can she?
Definitely can. There we see intent in that shot. She doesn't want to linger around for too long. Get done, get home, get some rest, come back tomorrow. Another thing is, a lot of these athletes who play, because the adrenaline is so high, you don't instantly go to bed because you can't sleep. You're just so active mentally and physically. Your body takes time, which is why even right now, it's close to 11 o'clock. I don't see them, even if they finish in the next 15 minutes, sleeping before 1:32 and they have to wake up at 6. So again, think about what their body is going through before you make judgments about their play.
So much to discuss on this particular topic that you touched upon. In fact, a lot of the leading world tennis players have complained about the late night scheduling that you've seen. The likes of Andy Murray, very vocal, tweeting that when you're finishing matches, say at 4:30 a.m., and you have to then spend a lot of time in recovery, the stretching, the ice baths, the nutrition, there's so much that, and with the kind of energy they put in on a court, for them to come out of it takes like a good 3 hours at the minimum. So you're not even going to go and just sleep. So you're pretty much awake till 7 a.m., 8 a.m. if you're finishing at 4:30, which was happening a lot on the tennis tour recently. So, I mean, like you said, it's not that they can just come back tomorrow morning and sleep right away after this one. It's going to take a long time, probably, if you say Sophia finishes, Somer finishes in the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And we're at about 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time. I don't think they're sleeping before 1:32 in the morning.
That's what, waking up at 6, that's 5 hours of sleep, then to play 4 games again. Big ups to them, man. That's why they're athletes and we're just mere mortals. Fantastic backhand there. She seems happy, and that looks like that's that. End of day's play for them. It was 15 minutes, we thought. Well, she made it quicker. You can see how desperate she is to get back. Wipe up, wipe off, change, recuperate, recover, and then come back stronger tomorrow.